Hello, good afternoon, everybody. The piece of music that I chose for my music appreciation speech is Must Be Nice by Lyfe Jennings. I chose this song because it's one of my favorite songs, and he is also one of my favorite music artists. Even though he did not come out with a lot of music relatively compared to other music artists, I feel like the music that he did come out with really touches a lot of topics that people in the public eye or other musicians kind of try to stay away from and don't like to talk about. So I find that really brave, and I think it was really impactful for a lot of people. And I also feel like he sings about things that he or people he know or knew have or are going through. So he's really able to connect with his lyrics. And my favorite lyric in this song, Must Be Nice, is someone as mighty as a lion, but still as gentle as a bluebird. Being a fan of his and just watching his videos and listening to his music and lyrics, I kind of gathered that he had lived a pretty experienced life and made some mistakes. But during my research, there was a lot of information that I did not know. For instance, I discovered that he was a native to Toledo, Ohio, and he also loved music from a really early age. When he was younger, he was in a group with a brother and two cousins called the Dotsons, and they loved to just sing and perform for anybody who would watch and listen. Unfortunately, also while he was younger, he made some mistakes and ended up going to prison for 10 years on an arson charge. And during that time, he just took that time to reflect on his behaviors and think about his future and really reconsider his behaviors and how he should act in the future. And he also took that time to pick up some new skills, like learning some musical instruments like the piano and the guitar. And I learned all this information while reading the Encyclopedia Popular Music 4th edition, written in 2006 by Carl Larkin. And some other information that I discovered and continue to find was that also while during his prison time, towards the end, while his release date was approaching, there was an event called the Showtime in Harlem event, and the facility actually let him create his audition tape while he was still finishing out his time, and he was able to turn that audition tape in. I think that is really awesome that the facility enabled him to do that and let him do that, which kind of makes you wonder and think like maybe they've really seen his potential. He probably was singing all the time, so I just think that's really cool. And so, as I stated, his release date was approaching, and he was able to send in his audition tape, and he was actually picked to go on the show, and his release date approached, so he was free after serving his time and was able to go on the show, the Harlem Showtime event, Showtime of Harlem event, and he won that event. From there, he was offered many other opportunities. One of those opportunities was to perform at a NAACP convention, and he was also given the opportunity to be an opener for Nelly at the Radio City Music Hall. His first album that he came out with was titled Life 268-192, and that is the album that It Must Be Nice is on. That album sold 1 million copies, and the song itself, It Must Be Nice, was on peaked at number 5 on the Hot R&B/hip hop song charts and remained in the top 20 for 38 weeks. He was also able to have John Legend accompany him on his first tour for his first album. And that, I can only imagine how amazing that felt, considering John Legend's place where he was at and how far he already was and famous. So that was probably an amazing opportunity for Jennings, he felt. He was also signed to Sony before creating his own label. And this information I found while reading an article written in 2005 by Michael Gale titled Convicted Turnabout, Life Jennings, and relatively unknown except for the millions of fans who bought his Dubé album. So, that was a really helpful resource that I found. And that concludes my video. I will be posting a clip or a link for the video underneath my video also. Thanks. Bye-bye.